Hi everyone, I'm Cesar Espinoza. I'm a broker associate and a certified real estate specialist here in the greater Houston area. And I've spent over 2 decades helping families navigate the real estate, including a lot of folks dealing with inherited and probate properties. So I'm always glad to bring in experts who work alongside with families during those same moments. And today I'm joined by Kat Byers. She's a senior associate attorney and head of estate planning and probate at Rosenblatt Law Firm in San Antonio. So Catherine is a San Antonio native who grew up with a deep sense of service. Her mother worked in education and her father was a doctor. And that spirit of compassion carries straight into how she practices law. She's a proud Texas A&M graduate. Way to go, Aggies! With a degree in communication, and she went on to earn her law degree from Michigan State University. Since joining Rosenblatt in 2021, Catherine has built her practice around a simple but powerful idea. Every client is a unique person with their own story, and she takes the time to truly get to know them. So, Catherine, welcome. It's great to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for allowing me to join. I'm excited to be here and talk about estate and probate issues.
So I know a lot of families I work with end up navigating probate for the first time, often right after losing a loved one. So I'm hoping we can demystify it a bit today. And so I wanted to start with the big picture. Um, so, Kat, what makes probate in Texas different from other states?
I think the biggest difference with our probate process here in Texas is when it actually becomes necessary. I have we're a community property state, and a lot of times my clients who are married and they lose, excuse me, when my clients are married and they lose a spouse, there's this common misunderstanding that, well, my name is on things like the deed or of the house or the car. So we're community property. It must just automatically come to me as surviving spouse. No, so Texas, there's not an automatic transfer between spouses on things like your real estate, cars. Um, we have it as community property. If you look at those deeds, it says something like we own this property as husband and wife or as community property. What that means is that the estate kind of splits in half when one spouse dies, and a surviving spouse is required to go through some type of probate process to essentially transfer the interest in the property to themselves, right? If we have a will. Um, most states allow spouses to take assets as joint tenants with rights of survivorship. And so a lot of times probate's not necessary when one spouse dies in a lot of other states. So Texas probate is different in that a lot of times we do need spouses to go through some type of judicial process to transfer a deceased spouse's interest.
Oh, interesting.
The
I see.
other difference we have with our Texas probate world here is that you can actually disinherit people under your will. You can disinherit a spouse. It's
Oh, wow.
not most states again in the country do not allow for a complete disinheritance. So we're a little unique in our probate world and our probate laws. Um, and I do like to stress that probate in Texas, it can be very straightforward. I mean, if we have an original will, I can get clients, through the process pretty quickly, versus some other states, it could be backlogged with the system. So when people are like, I hate Texas probate, I'm like, it's actually not that. It doesn't have to be that bad, right? As long as we're prepared for it. But we are a little unique in different ways, especially with inheritance rights.